Do that. And that's. I haven't heard back from. Yeah. She is. I've got a hi there from Crystal. I haven't gotten an answer yet. Okay. No, Crystal is not going to be. I'm waiting to hear back from Karen. And I'm trying to see if Kyle wants to drive over here.
That doesn't look like it.
They'll send a fire truck for you.
They'll probably need one at the by the end of
Well, let me know you're ready, Kyle.
the ready. On the fly.
You ready, Jenny? I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:24. We've got, Don Smith is present, Kyle Kennedy's present, Kansas Stone is present, and myself, Senate Tidwell, is present, so we do have a quorum. All right. You all stand for the invocation. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all here safely this evening. Please watch over us as the impending weather is coming towards us, and keep us as safe, and our loved ones safe as well. Please be with us as we make recommendations for our city's future. And it's in your name I pray. Amen. How will you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you.
Yep.
Got community announcements, items of community interest that may include recognizing citizens and staff for outstanding contributions to the community. A reminder about an upcoming event that is organized or sponsored by a governing body, and announcements of an imminent threat to public safety that has arisen after posting this agenda. Do you have any community announcements? We have an Easter egg hunt for the city on March 23rd from 9 to noon. I believe that's the only community
For
announcement.
St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patty's Day is Sunday. I don't know if that's a community announcement, but but I know that there will be an event here downtown, so for the Easter egg hunt. All right. Moving to citizen input, any person may address the Planning and Zoning Commission. If your comments are concerning an agenda item, you may wait until the discussion of that on that item if you prefer. Once recognized by the chairperson, please step forward to the speaker's podium, state your name, address, and speak directly into the microphone so the people in the room and those attending remotely can hear comments and see presentations. To request to speak via video conference, click participants at the bottom of the screen, click raise hand, and the chairperson will acknowledge your request and allow you to speak. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual unless additional time is otherwise required by law. No discussion or action may be taken at the time of this meeting on any item not listed on the agenda, other than to make statements of factual information or recite existing policy in response to a citizen's inquiry. Is anybody here for citizens input? Okay, we'll move on to the agenda items. Item 1, consider and act on a site plan for Aubrey 377 addition Block A, Lot 2R, being 2.0984 acres of land situated in the Francisco Trevino Survey Abstract number 1243, City of Aubrey, Denton County, Texas, located immediately east of US 377, south of Concho Street, north of Surveyors Road. Good evening.
The site is located here in the south portion of Aubrey, along US 377, as you mentioned, on the east side. Concho is to the north and Surveyors Road is to the south. The zoning of this property is through a planned development agreement with the city. And we're looking at a proposed lot 2R. We're looking at the site plan first. At the last meeting, you tabled this, and the applicant has revised their site plan. They have reduced, I've shown both what they had at the last meeting and what they're proposing at today's meeting. They have reduced the size of the buildings so that they can meet the requirements for the landscape ordinance. So they're not requesting any variances or anything that the ordinances, they are complying with the ordinances. City engineers reviewed and has no further comments. I just circled here kind of the differences between last month and this month. You'll notice that they have reduced parking over here to save some of the trees. There's a very large tree here that they are not able to, with the drive and everything, there's just no way that that tree would probably survive anyway, according to their landscape professional. There will no longer be the drive-through for the restaurant, proposed restaurant use. And as I mentioned, they moved they moved it so that the landscaping would meet the requirements. So we show here the landscaping. They have added the berm and the required landscaping. If you look at last month versus this month, you'll see that they're providing more of the land of the plantings than are required by the ordinance. So staff is recommending approval of the site plan. And you may approve it, you can recommend to approve it, you can recommend to deny it, you can recommend to approve with conditions. The applicant and the representatives are here if you would like to ask any of us a question.
Thank you, Kate. Does anybody have any questions for Kate or for the applicant?
Move to approve the site plan.
Okay, does that go? I think that Candace beat you out this time. I got Dawn made a motion, Candace seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Okay, item number 2, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a final plat of Aubrey 377 Addition Block A, Lot 2R being a replat of Block A, Lot 2, 2.0984 acres of land situated in the Francisco Trevino Survey, abstract number 1243, City of Aubrey, Denton County, Texas, located immediately east of US 377, south of Concho Street and north of Surveyors Road.
So the same place, same lot. This is, at the last meeting, you recommended approval, but because of the change in the site plan, we need to come back and look at this again to make sure that you still want to recommend approval, or if there's any changes. The fire lane has had, because they moved the landscaping, they needed to move the fire lane. And so I just wanted to show you the original, what y'all looked at last month, what you're looking at tonight. So the only change between last month and this month is the location of the fire lane. And staff is recommending conditional approval on this just because they need to provide signatures on the plat, and they need to provide the city the proof of the authorized agent, owner's authorized agent. So staff is recommending conditional approval. I can try and answer any questions.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for Kate?
No. I'll make a motion to approve the plat with the conditions 1 and 2 showing up in the screen.
Okay,
I'll second.
Alice made a motion. And that is to approve with conditions 1 per Article 2, Section 1.06, proof of the property owner's authorized agent. And 2 per Article 11, Appendix B, a final plat checklist. The plat is missing the required signatures, correct? And Dawn has seconded that.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? You're welcome. It was on the screen. It was on the screen, I know, but
They told us we didn't have it. You didn't have it.
you know what? Like, I keep everybody happy. That's all right. I will. All right, moving on to number 3, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a minor plat of Gilliand Acres being 2 acres and the F Trevino Survey, abstract 1243 in the city of Aubrey extraterritorial jurisdiction, Denton County, parcel ID 241600, generally located at 10429 Red Fern Road. Hi, Kate.
Hello again. So we have a minor plat. The property is located north of Red Fern Road in the ETJ, as you described. This is, since it is in the county, it is not zoned. But it is anticipated to be used for single family purposes. So I have got a zoom in and a zoom out of this so that you can kind of see the whole thing. We've got a property that fronts along a 15-foot wide access easement that connects to Redfern Road. Utilities are provided by Mustang. They will be, the sewer system will be a septic system from the permitted with the county. And they require no less than 43,560 square feet, as we found out, processing this, nothing less. And this is what those lots show. The electricity will be provided by CoServe. Staff has coordinated with the county regarding this, and they have no further comments. And we have coordinated with the utilities regarding the location, width, and easements. We have them now. Staff recommends conditional approval of this plat. The only item that needs to be addressed are signatures. And I recommend conditional approval. And I am here, and Denise is here as well.
Any questions?
No, anybody like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve conditionally the condition that the signatures on the plat.
Okay, would anybody like to second?
Second.
Okay, Candace is in second. All in favor? Any opposed? It passes 4-0. Item number 4, hold a public hearing considering and making a recommendation to city council regarding an amendment to exhibit 14A zoning ordinance in chapter 14 zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the city of Aubrey, Texas, to provide for alcoholic beverage sales, package store through a specific use permit, and provide a definition of package store in commercial C districts. Hello, Melanie.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners.
Should I go ahead and?
Thank you. So this next agenda item has to do with an amendment to your zoning ordinance to regulate the use of alcoholic beverage sales within the city. The city years ago had adopted a couple of ordinances that just generally address the alcohol election and did provide some provisions for locations and proximity restrictions. However, most cities do adopt zoning regulations so that when someone applies, it's not just the liquor or any type of alcohol where it can be sold, but they go check the zoning ordinance and the zoning map to make sure that use is permitted within that zoning district. At this time, Aubrey doesn't have any of those regulations. City Council has directed staff to work on bringing that zoning component into the zoning ordinance for alcohol sales. And we are working on that. It's quite comprehensive for all of the districts. And right now we are needing to respond to an application that we have received for a package store. So that's why this evening you are seeing amendment to the commercial district to allow for alcoholic beverage sales through an SUP, a specific use permit. I mentioned the previous amendments, and this evening we are also going to be considering the definition of a package store, which is a facility for the sale of beer, wine, and or liquor, not for on-premises consumption, that derives 75% or more of its gross revenue from the on-premises sale of such beverages. What we're recommending is the SUP process where an applicant would submit a site plan or floor plan. This helps when it's circulated through all of the fire and police planning to see any type of seating arrangement, where there might be a stage, anything for obstructions that might be a concern when needing to exit the building quickly. There's also criteria for approval. There are a number of items that you all would have the ability to provide a recommendation to City Council if you think the proposed SUP application meets the essence of what you're looking for in protecting your land uses. So the criteria, it's detailed in your packet, in the online packet as well. And such things to be addressed would be a traffic congestion, TABC compliance if they submitted the application through TABC. What type of establishment? Is it just a convenience store with beer and wine sale? Is it really a bar, or is it a liquor store? Also the public impact, look at security. We're proposing, you'll see later, to circulate the applications through the police department so that they're aware of what's happening within the community and any regulations or conditions they might want to see. Also looking to see if there's adequate parking, any environmental requirements, expiration, which would occur at the time a business ceases to operate there. Or if there is a change in ownership or the permit. This gives cities an opportunity to, when someone comes in to reapply for an SUP, if things have been appropriate there, if it is just a change of business, if things got out of control, and how you all might add additional conditions to address the situation. And then also, finally, compliance with the subdivision regulations. The proposal also includes as I said earlier, the definition of a package store. And based on council's input, previously in a workshop, we felt like it was important to address that there shall not be a package store within 1,000 feet of another package store. And then one of the other items that's already in your regular regulations is that a package store shall not have a walk-up window or any type of drive-through facility. Denial of the SUP, city council would have the opportunity to deny an SUP based on the following bullet points. If it's incompatible with the surrounding area, if it's detrimental or offensive to the neighborhood, or if it's in non-compliance with any other city ordinances. And then finally, the city council will have the opportunity to add additional conditions on that specific use permit. So the first item, and some of these are a little tricky with the original ordinances, just generally allowing the sale of alcoholic beverages in your community. And the key words in these are on-site or on-premise consumption or for off-premise consumption. So the high volume sales, the distance requirement we talked about earlier would be 1,000 feet of a public school, private school, church, daycare center, or childcare facility. And those terms are defined by the TABC. So a package store would have a gross revenue of their sales being 75% or more of alcoholic beverages. And then city council would have the opportunity to consider any variances. We are working on the downtown area in the comprehensive amendment, because that's the area where you want to be able to have activity and you don't want to penalize someone that wants to have, say, a restaurant, or maybe one day you all would want to have some type of a bar. So the council would have the opportunity to grant variances. As I said earlier this evening, we are amending the commercial district to allow for alcoholic beverage sales at package store through an SUP. It's what's being proposed in the commercial district, and then also providing for that definition of a package store. I had touched on earlier that you'll see future amendments to the zoning ordinance for the other zoning districts. The notifications for the public hearing was provided as required by your ordinance, as well as the Texas Local Government Code. We have not received any letters or in support or opposition. And you all have the opportunity this evening to approve the zoning ordinance to City Council for recommendation, or approve it with any changes, as well as deny the proposed zoning amendment. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You have any questions?
I was gonna open public hearing and go
sorry,
ahead and get the
yes.
public hearing in and out of the way, and then we can
No.
go for any further. Let's go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:44. I know no one signed up, but if anyone wants to speak on it. Okay, nobody's jumping up, so I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:44. Now, was anybody online? Okay. Do y'all have any questions for Helen?
I have a question. Okay, so what exactly are we being asked to approve as far as this goes? Like that we're defining package store, correct?
Yes.
And that we can have that in operate. Is that,
If,
or is this the 1,000?
if the property is zoned in the zoning district C, commercial district.
Okay,
Mhm.
that alcohol can be sold, that the future zoning has not been determined. Like you were talking about 1,000 feet from one store to the other, no drive-through, no walk-up. Is that what included in tonight's?
Yes.
Okay.
So some properties in your community are zoned commercial, some are zoned shopping centers, some are zoned industrial.
Okay,
So the regulation tonight is just for the commercial district.
Okay.
Which is a lot of your properties along 377.
right.
Mhm.
And it's the drive-through that is where,
Shows in the second attachment.
Well, it can't be like Louisiana.
do out.
Right.
Well, it's.
Or down off of in Dallas.
Yeah, no, nobody needs any of that.
And Commissioner, that regulation was pulled from your regular alcohol ordinance. So currently, you all don't allow that.
In Auburn,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Very interesting.
In this particular vote, we're just voting on the ability to do this.
Yeah.
We're not voting on a specific location at this time, right?
Correct. This is the zoning ordinance. We have an item after this that is a specific location.
And that's why I'm asking more questions is, okay, I did not realize that Aubrey didn't allow that, and maybe I need to go back and read that. It's highly recommended that any package, off-premise package store has a drive-through. I did not, like I said, didn't know that was the way it was in Aubrey. Yeah, my questions are answered.
All right. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Mhm.
I will second.
All right, we got Kyle making a motion. And Dawn seconding. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 4-0. All right, move to item number 5. Hold a public hearing, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a change in zoning and property zoned commercial for a specific use permit to allow for alcohol beverage sales package store at 928 South US 377 Suite 110 Aubrey, Denton County, Texas. On YouTube.
All right, so this next item is for a specific use permit application for a package store at generally the southwest corner of US 377 and High Meadow Drive. The image you see up on the screen is part of the notification map. The turquoise area is the actual lease space, which the SUP will be tied to, which is this Suite 110. So they have provided for an application for a package store. We just went through a number of the items for criteria in the previous case. So I'm just going to pop through some of these. The traffic congestion. The location's already in an existing shopping center. It has ample access to thoroughfares. TABC, they have submitted their application to us, and it is the formal application through TABC. It's a proposed package store. The public impact, we would like the applicant to provide that statement. I hope the folks that are zooming in are part of the applicants and can speak on behalf of the public impact. The security, the owner operator shall provide adequate number of employees for security and consult with the police chief director determination of the number of qualified employees to meet obligations. And the chief of police has received this SUP application, did not have any comments or concerns. The criteria continued parking. There's ample parking in this retail center. Environmental requirements, the owner operator will comply with nuisance ordinances. The expiration, as we went over in the previous item, it expires if there's a change in tenant of the lease space, if there's change of ownership or certificate of occupancy changes. And also compliance with the subdivision ordinance. The property's a developed site in the city and is on a platted lot. The package store proximity, the proposed location is not within 300 feet of a school, public, private, church, daycare, or public hospital. And the proposed location is not within 1,000 feet of another package store. Once again, the criteria after it leaves you, the city council could also deny an SUP application or this one if they find any of those three items are of a concern. They could also add conditions in any that you all might add to your recommendation. The notifications as required by the local government code as well as your city ordinance were provided. We have not received any letters in support of the SUP application. We did receive a letter and an email from an individual that owns 4 properties that are immediately to the west. And they are in opposition to the SUP application. So this evening, you have the opportunity to recommend to city council approval of the application, approval with conditions, or to deny the application.
Did you see?
From the Stevens?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a liquor store in this mall at one time, right?
I understand that's correct, and it was the same suite.
Do we have that?
We do. I'm gonna go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:52. Anyone would like to speak? Okay. Oops, yep, we got someone, what? Yes, no? Nope, okay. Gonna close it at 6:52. Maybe you have some questions?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just wondering. I mean, it doesn't matter. We take this into consideration.
Yes, we always follow. Yeah,
Okay.
the inputs into consideration.
Any promotion?
Okay, everybody's- Anybody have anything they'd like to comments, questions? I'm gonna move to make a motion to, I say that, I don't have my right screen up. I'm gonna move to approve the SUP application.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? I did that on purpose. Just letting you know that. All right. Okay, item number 6, hold a public hearing, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a change of zoning from unzoned land previously located in the city of Aubrey extraterritorial jurisdiction to planned development district with general retail and government uses on approximately 25.148 acres of land located at 1817 Spring Hill Road, Denton County, parcel ID 52100. Lily?
Me again. Okay, so this item is a PD zoning application. The properties at the immediate northeast corner of Spring Hill Road and McNack Road. And this is an interesting opportunity for the city. Back in August of 23, the city council entered into an ETJ development agreement. You all are familiar with those. And the landowner and the council agreed on some development regulations and future development for this property. The pink tract is going to be a government use tract, approximately 21.76 acres before right-of-way is taken out, and will be a future park area. And then also up in the northeast corner, there will be an opportunity water facility. And then at the very immediate corner, this is the general retail tract. And right now it's a little over 3 acres, but when it's met, it's a little over 2.5 acres. So the general retail tract, we referenced the base zoning district, but then we've also identified some other provisions to include in the PD, which would allow for a daycare center to be permitted without an SUP application requirement, and a restaurant. The base code says a restaurant's permitted. It talks about on-premise sales of food, but it doesn't really say dine-in only. So we wanted to clear this up. And then there are some prohibited uses, such as a variety store. This is one of your brand names that has the word dollar in it. And it's something staff has been recommended to encourage, including in some of your zoning cases. So we included that one. And then our automobile parking lots and structures as a primary commercial use. We don't want someone just building a parking lot and, charging money to park there. And also outside storage would not be permitted. And the government uses tract will comply with the zoning definition that you all have in your zoning ordinance, as well as in all of your zoning districts for government use. And as I mentioned earlier, the proposed use for that tract is for a city park, the Upper Trinity Pump Station, and other government uses. Once again, notifications were sent as required. We've not received any in support or in opposition. And this evening, you have the opportunity to recommend to City Council approval of the PD zoning, approval with conditions, or denying the PD zoning.
Let's go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:58. And doesn't look like anyone is stepping up to the podium. Is anybody online want to? I'm gonna close it at 6:58. I did have a question. Just looking at the developments on 428, that is southwest of the wedding venue that was recently approved. Is that correct? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking what is
It's
east, the wedding venue is
on the west side.
on the west side. And this is north of, okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to orient where I'm at. Okay, so Kingland, am I seeing Keelan?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna run right there by that new subdivision. And then the venue is gonna be to the east of it.
The venue would be west of
West.
the blue.
What's the? Okay,
The park will be east of the wedding venue and King.
okay.
Matt's will be extended from Spring Hill to
Mhm.
Blackjack.
Okay. And they've already, okay, all of that's been provided for the,
From most of it has, the northern piece we still need, but we're in conversation with that property.
Okay.
With the magnetic extension.
okay. I think a additional park for Aubrey residents would be a great thing for our community. Anybody else have any statements, questions? All right. Well, I would like to actually move to make a motion to approve.
I will second that.
Candace will second. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Item number 7, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a preliminary plat for the Lloyd property project 53 for 300 residential lots, 1 lift station lot, 4 open space lots, 1 public park lot, 1 general retail lot, 1 city dedicated general retail lot, being 47.275 acres of land situated in the J Bridges Junior Survey, abstract number 36, within the city of Aubrey extraterritorial jurisdiction, Denton County, Texas. The property is generally located west of FM 2931, north of Frontier Parkway, and east of the future Silverado Parkway. Melanie?
Thank you. So this is a preliminary plat for the Lloyd property. And in February, the city council entered into a development agreement with the property owner for this concept plan, development regulations, a number of development items. So the ETJ development agreement included a concept plan, and then this evening you're seeing a preliminary plat, which is consistent with the concept plan and development regulations. It's my understanding that they will be applying for zoning later this year and coming into the city limits. So this evening, we are just acting on the preliminary plat. And I put the concept plan in because the plat's on 2 pages, and this is a better graphic for you all to follow along. It is for 300 lots. That the typical lot is 30 feet by 110 feet. The property has a number of areas for open space. There's a large detention area with open space and trails around it along the north. There's a dog park in the center of the community, as well as a public park. The plat also provides for a lift station for Mustang. And there are 2 general retail lots, one down here around 4 acres. And then there's a tract to the north that will be deeded to the city. And it's around 0.81 acres. The property will have access off of 2 major thoroughfares on the east and west. And this is the west half or the east half of the preliminary plat. And here we have the east half again. So your packet online as well as in front of you has both sides of that plat image. The water and sanitary will be provided by Mustang. The city engineer has reviewed the preliminary water, sewer, and drainage for the property and does not have any outstanding comments at this time. The preliminary plat is recommended for approval with the following condition: that they provide for the parking spaces in the development agreement. They're to provide 30 within the community, and they're to be off-street parking spaces. Right now in the image, they're shared, the parking shared with the street right of way, and we don't want that maneuvering so close together. So we've asked that they make those off-street parking spaces. So you all this evening have the opportunity to recommend to the city council approval of the preliminary plat, approval with conditions, or to deny the preliminary plat. And the applicants here, if you have any questions.
I'm just curious what type of housing, I see the zone, excuse me, I see the development agreement that I skimmed for the certain information, but what type of home is that going to be at that size lot?
They are narrow.
Yes.
They will have a 1-car garage and a 1-car driveway.
Okay.
I believe the side yards are 5 feet on each side. The front yard's 25 feet.
So more of a
Rear yard-
townhome style.
Right, but they're not attached. They're just
They're detached.
really narrow
Oh.
lots.
Stuff.
I mean,
There's a picture.
Did I miss the picture? I'm looking in the wrong.
We just try to pull it from the side.
Thank you.
Maybe I picture it in my catalog.
Your cat.
Page 36.
Page 30, okay, yeah. Is that in the? Which document?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, it's at the top of that.
Use James skills. See if she can rotate.
Okay,
Wait, what?
I can turn my head. Next door.
Right.
Okay.
So the whole neighborhood will be 300 of those?
Yes.
I wish there was more varied.
Well, I say they're all the same except for.
Oh, that's just an example. That,
Yeah,
that's, could
but-
be, it could,
But I wish.
Yeah.
They weren't all 30 foot
oh,
in the,
well, it is a plan development. And I did see in the plan development agreement that it is slated to go into the city limits. Forget it, which whereas that I read said that, so. Any questions? Anyone like to make a motion?
So make a motion to where we live. Or do we have any conditions?
Yes, there's. Number one, to provide an open space park.
the off-street parking.
Make a motion to allow with condition one, provide open space parking spaces as off-street spaces and not share the street right of way. Get it?
Got it. Anybody like to make a second?
Second, I'm sorry.
Right, yep. Candace seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? It passes 4-0.
So this would be like it's been Coppell, old downtown.
Yeah.
That's what that's gonna be like.
Yes.
No, I lived in one of those. I actually, when I was, first, I loved it, actually, but there were those 300. Okay.
Consider and make, item 8, consider and make a recommendation to the city council regarding preliminary plat for High Country Phase 10 for 2 lots being 30.312 acres situated in James Bridges Junior Survey Abstract Number 36 within the city of Aubrey extraterritorial district jurisdiction, Denton County, Texas. The property is generally located west of McNatt Road, north and south of future Frontier Parkway, and south of Ike Byron Road. Melanie?
Thank you. The image that you see up on the screen is for location. So you can understand where we are in the city. The plat consists of 31 acres and it's 2 different lots. So see in another exhibit, if this is Frontier, that'll come across here. So there's 1 lot to the north and 1 lot to the south. The property is not within the city limits and we do not have an ETJ development agreement at this time. The purpose of the preliminary plat is to dedicate right-of-way for Frontier Parkway and to accommodate a future land sale. The water and utilities will be provided by Mustang. The engineer has reviewed the preliminary plat and does not have any issues at this time. And as I said, here's the image. And this is Frontier that's coming through and dividing the property into 2 lots. And this evening, you have the opportunity to recommend the preliminary plat to the city council or recommend the preliminary plat for approval with conditions or to deny the preliminary plat. The applicant is here this evening if you should have any development questions or engineering questions for them.
Does anybody have any
What's
questions?
the recommendation?
Approval.
I move to approve.
All right.
Also,
Candace, moving, John, seconding, all in favor? Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Item number 9, consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a preliminary plat for Sandrock Rock Ranch Phase 14, being 26.210 acres of land situated in the William Lumpkin Survey, abstract number 730, and the Frederick H. Pollard Survey, abstract number 995, City of Aubrey, ETJ, Denton County, Texas, located between FM 2931 and FM 1385 and south of FM 428 and Overbrook Parkway. Hey, Kate.
Good evening again. So this is a where in the world are we map. We're in a location, and so we've got the city of Aubrey, and this is in the ETJ. And this map is actually showing you general locations of the phase 14 here that I'm pointing at, and then phases 15 and 16 that we'll be talking about later. So they're all within the proposed Sandrock development. It's not proposed, as you can see that it's under development. So I've provided a concept map of the entire Sandrock development. It is not zoned. It is governed by the development agreement that was executed in 2005. That development agreement provided residential categories of estate, SF 1.5, SF 7.2, SF 5.5, as shown in the description there. You'll also notice that they provide for variances in order to accommodate possible variations in this unit. There was a 10% variance from the minimum lot area width, depth, setbacks as well. With no additional approval. I wanted to show you where Sandrock Ranch was in relation to the city's master thoroughfare plan. It's circled there, and we'll get to this again in phases 15 and 16. But you'll also notice that generally speaking, really, it's just the blue arterial. It's a proposed arterial that mostly affects phases 15 and 16. Phase 14 right here, you'll see that there's no mention of any additional arterial, any roads in the city's master thoroughfare plan. So we've got a close-up of the phase 14 preliminary plat. It covers 26.21 acres. It creates 43 SF 7.2 lots and 80 SF 5.5 lots for a total of 123 residential lots, 2 common area lots, and some street right-of-ways. And those dimensions are consistent with the development agreement. The plat shows setbacks of 20 feet. The development agreement notes 10 feet or 18 feet for front-facing garage lots. But it also provides for the P&Z to approve any setbacks greater than the minimum. Drainage and paving will be owned by the homeowners association. And since it's in the ETJ and the homeowner, those will not be a burden for the city at this time until or unless they are annexed. Right-of-way dimensions are consistent with the development agreement, and minimum 4-foot sidewalks are to be built by the home builder 1 foot from the right-of-way. Utilities provided by Mustang will be providing water and sewer, electricity by CoServe, gas by Atmos. Staff has coordinated with the utilities regarding these locations, the proposed location width and access, and CoServe as the only one that's said anything, yay or nay, and they confirm the easements are adequate. And I have confirmed with the county, and they have no further comments. So I'm recommending conditional approval of the final of this preliminary. I should not say final, my bad. This is a preliminary plat, so I'm recommending conditional approval of this preliminary plat for those signatures. You may you have the opportunity to recommend approval of the plat, recommend approval of the plat with conditions, or to recommend denial. I can try and answer questions. The owner's engineer, project manager is here also to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
No, I mean, they well aware that that's far off of 1385, right? That's what I was looking at. Okay. Feel my feeling about it.
I know you're feeling about it.
So, okay.
Just as a reminder, this, phase 14 is not the portion that's directly there, but yes, in order to get there, you have to.
Yeah. But it's still gonna take up some of that land once they expand sometime in 2050, right?
All right, I will move to approve with the condition number 1.
All right, Candace has made a motion.
I'll second.
And surprisingly, Kyle is decided.
I would be like, that's second.
I'll say.
All in favor? Any opposed?
That road.
All right, I know. It passes unanimously. Move on this side of Aubrey, Kyle.
I just gonna say I would've been here earlier if I wouldn't put out the, oh, no, that traffic.
Item number 10. Consider and make a recommendation to city council regarding a preliminary plat for Sandbrook Ranch phases 15 and 16 being 75.771 acres of land situated in the William Lumpkin Survey abstract number 730, City of Aubrey, ETJ, Denton County, Texas, located between FM 2931 and FM 1385 and south of FM 428 and Overbrook Parkway.
We're duking between them, pardon me. So, same development, but now we're looking at phase 15 and 16. Phase 15 and 16 together on this plat encompass 75.771 acres. And it creates 81 SF 7.2 lots, 51 SF 5.5 lots. And then a total of 122, what we're calling variance lots. For a total of 254 residential lots. There'll be 10 common area lots and rights of way. As the other, as phase 14, this also is showing 20-foot front yard setbacks that P and Z can approve or recommend approval. And again, you know, it's the same. The homeowner is going to take care of the drainage and the paving. The right-of-way dimensions are consistent with the development agreement. And the sidewalks. However, I do need to mention, now this property is fronting on 1385. And so the recommended right-of-way width here, staff is recommending the dedication of about 70 feet of right-of-way. As you alluded to, TxDOT is acquiring right-of-way, and so that is not shown on this plat, and that is one of the conditions that staff is going to be recommending. This preliminary plat is not specific about the street names. We've got streets A, B, C, and so that is something that we are recommending that the developer provide the city to review the fire and food safety to make sure that there are no issues, conflicts with proposed street names. And then there are no signatures on the plat. So just as a reminder of the proposed right-of-way, and the developer's representatives here and can address that if you would like for her to. And I'm recommending conditional approval of not this final, it is a preliminary still. So we've got this, and then if this is recommended, then they will provide engineering plans for the engineer to review, and then we'll come back for the final. So we've got the signatures on the plat that are missing. We need to button down the right-of-way along 1385, and we need to finalize the street names. So I'm here. We can answer any questions. Any questions?
I have a question just in general with Sandbrook Ranch. Is it eventually, are they looking at joining the city, being their own? What's the?
So currently it's in a mud district, and so according to the developer's agreement, it can be annexed in the future once it's fully built out, fully funded. But as of now, it's still gonna stay in the mud.
I will move to approve the preliminary plat with the three conditions, the signatures, the right of way, and fixing the street names.
I'll second it.
Okay, Don's made a motion, Kyle is second. All in favor? Any opposed? It passes 4-0. All right. On to the final agenda item, item number 11, considering action approval of minutes of the February 8th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. I think that we have one change to the minutes. Is that correct, Jenny? Okay.
I just-
And yeah, the,
Well-
yes, the time that it ended was 1 minute off, so it'll be. I'd move to approve the minutes with the change to the adjournment to 7:26.
Hang on, excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
This
Mhm.
on that table,
Mhm.
it did not carry unanimously.
Oh.
I'm just saying because I put it.
There was another one you could, let me pull it up.
Sorry.
Let me pull my notes out.
I mean, just for the sake of accuracy.
Table, that's correct. There needs to be an adjustment. The number 3, item number 3 on the table. It went 5-2. All right.
Yeah, that. Both y'all did.
Uh,
And so then remember we all.
I said no, I
That was
opposed
both-
table.
Yes. Okay, so. I made the motion, Commissioner Murray seconded it, and the motion. It was, yeah, 5-2. Thank you for, I missed that. So then I'm in I'm in my motion, yeah, I'm learning. I move to approve the minutes with the changes to item 3, reflecting 5-2 vote and change the adjournment time to 7:26.
I second.
You said, okay.
Go.
And Candace, second. All in favor? Any opposed? 4-0. All right, we're going to adjourn at 7:23. Yes.
I was.
Hey, Jenny, at least everything passed 4-0 this time though, so.
My head.
And Jenny, once again, thank you for my catalog.
My loan officers, now I got more than one.
And how many questions?
So kind of been a. trying
Always
time.
ask them.
Well, I
Picking
know,
up on
well,
the-
I'm saying in general.
Applications, I mean, it's.
The alcohol and the security.
That's why
I'm
like, okay, it's the setting.
Oh,
Because,
Well, that's why.
yeah, yeah, no, I wanna know, but it's not.
Did you stop the recording? Have you stopped the recording?
Oh, no, I'm second. You guys know.
I know, no, earlier.